Second round of the NBA playoffs, already pure chaos. Knicks just swept the 76ers in dominant fashion, dropping 144 points in game four and tying a playoff record for threes made. They're not just winning, they look like a finals team. Out west, Oklahoma City's up 3-0 on the Lakers, and every game follows the same script. LA starts strong, but turnovers in depth from OKC take over late. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves and Spurs are tied two apiece after a physical series swing involving a Wembanyama ejection over the weekend. And Detroit and Cleveland is a full-on battle with every game coming down to clutch plays. This isn't playoff. This playoffs isn't about who's the best team anymore. It's about who can survive the longest. Second round of the 2026 NBA playoffs already delivering high drama, tight series, and momentum swings that show just how unpredictable this postseason has become.
Yeah, we've got the Knicks completing a sweep of the Philadelphia 76ers, the Pistons and Cavaliers locked in a physical battle, and the T-Wolves and Spurs tied 2-2 in a grinded out series. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma City Thunder looking dominant again with a 3-0 series lead over the Lakers. So far, right now, nothing is safe and no lead feels comfortable in the NBA. Of course, you're my Knicks.
Yeah, let's start in the East, where the Knicks made the clearest statement of any team in the playoffs. So, as much as Frank likes to bitch about the Mets, the Knicks have been playing pretty well. I mean, they didn't just beat Philadelphia; they swept them, and they did it in a dominant fashion. Capped off by a 144-point explosion in Game Four, where they tied a playoff record with 25 made threes. You could say it's NASCAR season all you want, but the Knicks just swept the Sixers, baby. They're right there, ready to go, looking like a finals team.
We got one orange and blue team in New York that's at least somewhat competent. This isn't just hot shooting anymore. It's a fully clicking system. Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns are leading the way, but the real story is how balanced and disciplined this Knicks team looks on both ends. They're no longer a contender. They're looking like a finals level problem, which is something that they have not done since OJ went for a little drive.
Meanwhile, Pistons Cavs series is the opposite. It's a grind. Detroit leads 2-1, but Cleveland responded in game three behind a big clutch finish by James Harden and another strong scoring night from Donovan Mitchell. Cade Cunningham continues to push Detroit forward with all around production, but every game feels like a fight down to the final possession. Game four becomes the turning point. Either Cleveland evens it, or Detroit puts real pressure on a young roster trying to prove it belongs.
Yeah, out west, the Oklahoma City Thunder continue to look like the most complete team in basketball as they now lead the Lakers 3-0. And every game has followed a similar pattern. LA keeps it close early, but turnovers and depth eventually become a problem, and it buries them. Even when Gilgis Alexander is contained, Oklahoma City's supporting cast steps up, especially Ajay Mitchell and Chet Holmgren. At this point, the question isn't if OKC is better, it's whether or not anyone can slow them down for four full quarters.
And I don't think anybody really can. I really don't. I mean,
Be
maybe San Antonio if they advance through, but
it's going to be the task of one of these two teams, these next two teams.
I don't think it's going to be. I really don't think it's going to happen. But game four, I mean, on the other side, the Spurs and Timberwolves are locked in at 2-2 in one of the most physical series of the playoffs. Game four flipped the tone of the series after Victor Wembanyama was ejected for an elbow that sent Naz Reid to the floor, changing the entire flow of the game. Minnesota capitalized late behind Anthony Edwards' 36-point performance. Series shifts back to San Antonio, tied, and game five feels like a pressure moment for both sides, especially with Wembanyama expected to return, looking to respond physically and emotionally after getting ejected.
Yeah, right now across both conferences, a few clear themes have been emerging so far this postseason. First, turnovers in depth are still deciding games as they typically do in the NBA. Oklahoma City is punishing mistakes better than anyone. Meanwhile, teams like Detroit and Minnesota are surviving because of bench and role player production. Second, stars are still important, but consistency is everything. Brunson, Edwards, Mitchell, SGA are all producing, but the teams winning are the ones getting helped beyond that. And third, momentum very, very fragile. No series outside of Oklahoma City feels fully stable, even with leads.
Final takeaway as we move deeper into the second round, the gap between contenders and survivors is shrinking. Oklahoma City looks dominant. The Knicks look complete, but everywhere else, Detroit, Cleveland, San Antonio, Minnesota, even the Lakers, everything is still up for grabs. And if this postseason has shown anything so far, it's that no lead is safe and no series is finished early.